Right, so hi, we are Team Exclamation Mark, and we'd like to present what the output of our work in the last 24 hours. So our project was called What Did I Miss? And is a news aggregation and visualization tool. When we're going into this, we had 3 goals in mind. We wanted to create an intuitive, simple to use, easy interactive map of the US with 3 goals. We wanted to cluster the most important and relevant daily news articles by topic. The second goal was to visualize the geopolitical distribution of news sources, so their political affiliation or orientation and their geographic distribution. And the third goal was to track the coverage trends over time, so how the coverage of news spreads throughout the day. For the tech stack, we used the Newsmatics API, of course. We used the Flask server and SQL databases. We used the K-means clustering algorithm for machine learning. And then on the front end, we used React and JavaScript, and of course, Docker for deployment.
Okay, so the data processing starts with Newsmatics API query with carefully chosen set of keywords which enable us to get the most of the API and actually get the most relevant topics of the most relevant articles of the day to then be used in the K-means data clustering.
And since we had to make sure to only use the most relevant sources, we also had to somehow filter the data we get from the API. So we filtered it through location. So we only took the data that was in the USA, so we could put it in a very concise map. Then we also filtered only the credible ones that were marked as credible by the Newsmatics editors. And as a last thing, we needed to transform it so we can fit it into our model. And after a very brief trial and error, we figured out that if we combine the title and the abstract, we get the most effort / computational power to result ratio. So we use this one to fit it into our model.
The plan was to use download set of topics from the internet, but then we realized that we can't really find this kind of list, so we decided to use a K-means data clustering algorithm, and it ended up as a really good decision to use this algorithm because it's effective and fast, and we can process large amounts of data pretty quickly.
And for the post-processing, we were affected because we were running out of time. We had to, because we only had a limited amount of computational power, so we had only a limited amount of clusters we can fit them into. So some of the clusters were really cluttered up and full of garbage. So we had to let the most filled one go and use only the 2 to the 10th one. And we took each one of these top clusters and we took the most center headline from the cluster to use as the headline for the whole cluster. And after that, we took the whole clusters as the headlines and we fit them into the database, which was then ready for an API call from our front end, which will be right now represented by our front end colleague.
Yes, that's true. Hello, I'm Peter. And I will not just walk you through our front-end user interface, I will actually fly you through it. So it is running on a Docker file, it's a Docker compose actually in the background, and as you can see, when we enter the site, we have no data yet, but we can select the date, which would be the perfect one for us. Let's say this one, 21st of February. As we can see, we have 3 top, let's call them top topics of the day. Then we can actually filter, choose one from it, and see the whole map of the United States, and use our slider here and see all the all the panes that represent the actual articles that were published on that timestamp. It's actually like our timeline. We use the same labels as Newsmatics for political orientation, and we can play with it. We are interested in the political orientation just as Newsmatics are, and also we have this this bar that represents how many left-oriented or right-oriented articles are published. Yes, that's it from me.
Thank you. I'll try the second microphone, but it's up to the jury. They can ask you about anything, the presentation, whatever.
Thank you for the presentation, it was very nice. I would like to know how you are filtering those locations. How does it work?
We have a local database of cities and states paired with value anonymous coordinates, and so we can get coordinates really quickly and label those articles really quickly locally. Isn't the answer?
It's the city of the publisher.
Yeah, I want to ask about the same thing. If the article has kind of like no local information, how do you assign it? Well, obviously, if the article doesn't mention any source or kind of like anchor in the map, how do you assign it? Or do you ignore those?
It mentions address of the publishers, and we can parse.
Okay, so the address of the publisher in the first case is the source of the location. Okay.
Hey, I would love to know if you look at what the K means actually calculated. Like, do you have any maybe? Did you try the other methods and stuff? Because we really like to know about how the clustering works or this data.
Could you repeat the question? I didn't understand.
Like, did you try other methods than K means for the clustering itself?
Yeah, we also tried other algorithms. We also tried some actually advanced ones with, I don't know what was the name of it, like HACB, something like that. There was a lot of clustering algorithms, but we figured out that none of them could be applied to our use case because all of them were at like 15 minutes per 1 day, and we didn't have enough time to complete at least 1 month of database information.
Yeah, okay, thanks. Just one more question. Did you find like any interesting topic where there was like huge difference between the leftist and rightist publications?
The most important, like the most funny thing that we found was that if you have a headline, if you have a cluster that is very like hateful towards the right, probably, so that in the first part of the slider it goes fully to the left, and then when the far right tries to somehow recompensate or fight back, it goes back, and it ends in half.
Okay, that seems nice. Thanks.
So, thank you guys. That's it, your presentation. Thank you.